Hi guys, it's Victor Costa, Peace, Love, and Muscles. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having an outstanding day. Folks have been asking me about my ab workout. I'm delighted to reveal what I've been doing these days. As you know, abs require quite some work, right? They require obviously a pretty strict diet in order to be able to see the abs, but at the same time, there is no faking the development, right? So you can't just diet down to see your abs and hope that they are revealed by lowering your body fat. You actually have to train them because you may be sorely disappointed when you find out that you've shredded all this body fat but have absolutely no development there. And that's not a pun that I intended. But that's really the trick. The trick here is to make sure that you train your abs year round, regardless of your body weight, because the core of your body is really where everything is. Your health, everything emanates from that area of your body. You see here, I'm doing this little undulating type of movement just to show you that really that's where the action is, right? It's from keeping a loose back, a supple back, and then making this connection. And even if you just did that as a movement to practice, I would love for you to be able to do that and make that connection with your body. What I just showed you there, I think is extremely valuable because that's what I'm actually doing here. It's less exaggerated when I'm in the midst of my set, but at the same time, that's what's really happening. The back is relaxed and supple, and then it connects by me crunching down sort of in advance of pulling the machine down or the pulley down. You can use a rope, you can use a handle, but the action has nothing to do with my hands, really. I'm just kind of hanging on and trying to let the abs do all the work. I switch it up every now and again with a little bit of one-arm work here to connect with the serratus. And you can see here that, I don't know if you can tell, but my pelvis is tilted slightly forward, and that undulation in the back is still happening, right? This extension and then flexing. And it doesn't take a lot of movement. I don't have to pull that weight down to the floor. In fact, I couldn't pull that weight down to the floor and use my abs. If I were doing that, I'd be pulling with every other body part. Trust me, I'd be pulling with my arms, I'd be pulling with my shoulders, I'd be pulling with my hips. This is pure abs. This little undulation in the back, this little connection right there is all that it takes. The pelvis is tilted slightly forward, and when I just move down slightly, I can feel my abs stack up on top of each other. I do a little work on the side just to direct a little bit of attention to the outside of my body, the serratus area and the oblique area. But for the most part, it's the same movement. It's that little, I call it an undulation. It's a little bit of a flexing. It's by letting the back remain kind of supple and then bringing it down together, right? Letting the back relax and then making this connection. And it's all really happening with my lower back first. And then the abs connect, and then I use the weight really just as a matter of applying some tension to my abs. So you can see here, that's exactly what I do. I let the weight work with me. I'm sort of working against the gravity. I like to feel it. I don't like to just get the repetition over with. I like to kind of connect first and then get that little action going in my back and then let the abs stack up on top of each other. You may or may not be able to tell, but my pelvis is still tilted slightly forward. There's not a lot of movement in the rear end, right? My rear end is not going toward my ankles in any way. I'm just kind of connecting with my abs, right? I'm holding that weight there, connecting with it, feeling it, and pulling down with my midsection. And again, that little undulation in the back. Try that with a relatively light weight. Let your body extend and then pull from that area to connect, right? Flex the lower back so that your body is actually straight. And then you will feel the connection to your abs, and then you can pull down. And you do not have to pull all the way down to the floor like an animal, just nice and slow and make that connection. And that's what I do, guys. And I do this for sometimes 4, sometimes 5, sometimes 6 sets. And I keep going back to the well. And you got to make sure you breathe on this, right? So it's very easy to let the air out and make that connection. So it's just a matter of practice. You know, focus on that lower back movement rather than just trying to get that weight to the floor. I see a lot of guys yanking that handle to the floor, whether it's a rope or whatever, paying very little attention to the abs, just trying to exhaust themselves saying, I did 10 or I did 20 reps. but you pulled it all with your hips, you pulled it all with your shoulders, you pulled it all with your arms. That little subtle movement, whether you're using 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, that little connection right there means everything, right? And then once you make that connection, boy, everything else is gravy, right? And so that's what I'd love for you to learn how to do. Start off with a light weight, put your body in a fixed position, extend, you get a fair extension all the way up, and then start pulling with your abs. And you start pulling with your abs by connecting with that lower back, making that back straight from that sort of supple, more relaxed posture. And guys, I'm telling you, you do one rep and you're like, wow, I felt that. I felt that connection. And then once you find it, you stay on it. And so the best way to do this really is to start with a lighter weight and really just try to connect to your body. Exhaling, like I said, always helps when you're making the connection with the abs. If you see guys posing on stage, they're not inhaling when they flex their abs, they're exhaling. They're letting all the air out, as you can do also. And then I follow up with leg raises. Now I'm doing these improperly here just to show you how to do an improper leg raise. I'm bringing my knees up. A lot of guys just hang there and bring their knees up. That's not going to do much. All the action is being done in my hips. My legs are not acting as a weight in any way, shape, or form. It's very easy to pull up this way. So what I want to do is I want my body to work. I want to make my legs feel a lot heavier. So this is not the right way to do this exercise, by hanging there straight and just pulling my knees up. Now I'm going to show you how to do a proper leg raise, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean forward slightly so that the upper abs are really connected, and I'm going to keep my legs in a fixed position, but I'm going to kick out at the same time, right? So the knees aren't coming up toward my chest, they're actually going out on an arc while the upper body is really leaning forward. There's a gesture forward with the upper abs, and then as you bring the legs out in an arc, with the knees curving out away from the body and the feet away from the body, that's where you feel the resistance, or you feel the weight of your legs, and that you're working with the weight of your own body in this exercise, rather than just kind of gaming yourself and trying to figure out how can I get this one repetition over with. You don't lift your knees up at all. You lift them out in an arc and up at the same time. You can keep your heels together. Some guys like to actually push their heels into each other so that the feet are kind of pointed out, kind of pigeon-toed, if you will. And that can help also stabilize your body if you're not super connected to your abs. But this is really the two best exercises that I have found, right? Some guys that I used to train with long ago, some of them only did this exercise. Believe it or not, they wouldn't even do any crunches. They wouldn't do any rope work. One guy in particular, I won't mention his name, only did 3 or 4 sets of this, about 25 repetitions, and his abs were just killer. Of course, he dieted all the time, meaning dieting doesn't mean deprivation, it means feeding your body. And a lot of people are reluctant to actually do abs when they feel that they're quote unquote in the fat stage or the bulk stage. And they forget that that's the part of their body that is the anchor of everything. Your health is in that part of your body. Everything comes from that area of your body. Everything. It emanates from there. When the core is strong, you are in good health. Core health is overall health as far as I'm concerned. So you want to make it a focal point of your training regimen, right? You will be surprised that if you just focused on your core, the rest of your body can remain strong. For those of you who like to squat, for those of you who like to bench press, you don't realize how much energy is actually coming from that area of your body. You want to up your bench press, you want to up your squats, you want to up your deadlifts, you want to up your overhead press. Work on your core, you know. The smartest lifters go back to the basics. They say, what am I missing? And that's where they start building again. So they diagram it out. Okay, I want to do more squats. I want to squat more weight. And I maxed out. What do I do? Well, you can't expect to do the same thing over and over and get a different result. So you go back to the drawing board. Start focusing on your core if you're in that position. So guys, I hope this was helpful. I tried to explain that undulation / connection / flex with the abs in the rope work to make your rope work or pull down work or handle work, whatever you want to call that, more productive. It's not about bringing the weight to the floor. It's about connecting with the abs and then moving in that direction. Pelvis forward, connecting with the abs, that little connection to the lower back where it's flexible and supple, and then connecting by flexing it straight, or flexing the upper body straight in the midst of holding some resistance, and then working with that resistance or arguing with the gravity on the way down, and making the connection at the very top when you're extended. If you can make the connection at the top when your body is extended, you're in good shape. So even if you just focus on that little undulation where you're holding the resistance and then making the back supple and then straightening it out, you'll feel the connection to your abs. So guys, I wish you all the best. Please comment, like, share. Love you all. Peace, love, and muscles. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.